corpuscle is really a living metropolis. If you were looking from far away and down on Mexico City, a red blood corpuscle, it can still look like it's still, yet close up it is an organized metropolis. A red blood corpuscle is a life colloid. It is itself a conglomeration of component building blocks as colloid of life and life colloid, as spore and double spore. a stage of aggregation and fusion of colloid of life. A red blood corpuscle is made of primordial building blocks of colloid of life and life colloid that have a shared, unified, mutually assisted, organized metabolic movement in time. A red blood corpuscle is a spatially ordered colloid of life. A life colloid, as such, has an alignment and application of a mutually assisted use of communal owned energy. A red blood corpuscle provides primordial building blocks and differentiates. A red blood corpuscle provides primordial building blocks and differentiates into all other cells and also immune cells, including leukocytes. A red blood corpuscle that becomes depressed transforms its color and function as a leaf does in winter. Leukocyte number in the blood is few in comparison to red blood corpuscle. Only some 5, 9,000 cubic millimeters. Leukocyte vary in the blood according to time, digestion, body componentry, circulatory condition, and emotional electric biophotonic conditions. A leukocyte count is relative according to the electric biophotonic health of red blood corpuscles. A leukocyte and immune cells as a lymphocyte is typically a first stage of a red blood corpuscle morphing into a nucleated cell. A nucleated cell arises. A nucleated cell arises, having morphed, differentiated, from a red blood corpuscle that is without any prior DNA present. Endothelial cells line lymph passageways in the body for large molecules to pass through that can't fit into a blood vessel. This lymph passage allows that molecule to be transported. To this end, an endothelial cell arises from a depressed red blood corpuscle. Colloid of life can be seen aggregating, fusing, and differentiating into this important body tissue. A reversible differentiation between a red blood corpuscle and most all fixed body tissue exists. Spore, virus, as life colloid is the result of degenerating cytoplasm. In colloidal biology, the author points out that cancer and viruses spore and double spore life colloid are not hereditary or contagious. Injured or irritated tissue causes inflammation. No present idea exists as to the role of the red blood corpuscle at the site of inflammation, apart from its apparent role in gas transportation. No present knowledge explains what happens to the red blood corpuscle as it is spent. No knowledge at the present moment exists to explain where the DNA as blood is made in the old paradigm. No knowledge is present of the red blood corpuscle being electric or biophotonic or having polypotency as a source of primordial building blocks of body tissue. Blood is a liquid crystal organ tissue. Its crystal-like structure is where atoms are arranged in a lattice-like fashion where electrons are free from atom hopping from lattice to lattice. Current also flows in the bone as either with electrons or electron holes. If atoms lack a spare electron, an electron hole can move an electrical current in the same fashion. A very minute current is all that a body needs. This is of a very small voltage. The red blood corpuscle being the anode and the cathode being a virtual field on the edge of the red blood corpuscle's electromagnetic field. Blood electrifies the body with fluid electric energy. Blood's biophotoelectromagnetic nature carries the body's finest vibration. Its biophotonic electromagnetic field provides the body with its own coherent electric light matrix switchboard. Its biophotonic electromagnetic field provides the body with its own coherent electric light matrix switchboard. Both brain and body operate with a digital on off type biophotonic light electromagnetic and also an analog coding. This analog coding involves the strength of the biophoto electromagnetic field. Biophotonic. Biophotonic. Magnetic. Also, analog. Its current direction. Its current direction. Its speed and wave-like quality. This codified coherent electro biophotonic matrix provided by that red blood corpuscle is very precise and operates as a direct current on the whole body. This direct current in the body, set up by blood and bioterrain being an integrated circuit, flows along perineural cells as in glial and Schwann cells that provide an electrical insulation for other nerve electrical processing. A readiness potential is activated 1/2 a second before muscular action. This DC system controls the body's nerve impulse system by creating its own readiness potential. Biophotonic capacity provided for by the blood applies a DC current, and regulation by the vestibular apparatus is control central for this DC electromagnetic biophotonic coherent light capacity provided for by the red blood corpuscle is applied as a control mechanism centered upon the vestibular sensory system. This system is applied to regulate function This system is applied to regulate function within the body that create external measurable fields. A gifted healer can interact with this field to assist to restore balance through coherent light healing energy radiated out from the red blood corpuscle. All tissue has an electromagnetic field. All neoplastic tissue, for instance, is a bioterrain that has switched its polarity and has become more negative than it should be. On another note, a red blood corpuscle differentiates, changes its form, as it is exposed to a negative electrical field, as in N pole of a magnet. Fibroblast cell and extravasated red blood corpuscles can, at the wound site where a current of healing exists, transform into primitive embryonic cells that differentiate into whatever is needed to heal a wound. A high voltage pulse, electroporation, can inactivate a toxin. High voltage without any current causes dissimilar cells to inwardly join with each other to become one union as a chimera. Chimera. The body applies its biophotonic electromagnetic property derived from the red blood corpuscle to assist maintain its bioterrain virtual cathode. Mini micro electrical climates can have begun in this by body ailment newly brought in. The red blood corpuscle emits a halo or glow that pulses. This is a biophotonic plasma body consisting of a veil of electrons and protons. Held by a fourth-dimensional subatomic particle field as cosmic energy. Other element applied by the blood in this halo-like glow is monatomic element and also helium, oxygen, and iron. The blood beyond this also consists of an entrained electromagnetic field. Electromagnetic and biophoton disturbance of the blood and body tissue go hand in hand. Vital tissue as a virtual body cathode can have other than been kept vital tissue as a virtual body cathode can have other than been kept in light as it does in health. Health requires the blood get back its proper light. To this note, clathration in cleansing is very important, for it is typically a lack of bile flow that begins all disease. Body injury of electromagnetic and biophotonic light disturbance through a non life food diet and ensuing condition requires that the body's bile bladder, trash can of the liver, is empty. Otherwise, a condition arises of electromagnetic disturbance where the body's vital bioterrain magnetosphere becomes disconnected. In a horizontal position at night, the body's potential electrical field reverses and the external body becomes more positively charged than the interior. This spin is to the left predominantly and is more an in and up energy called anionic energy. Cationic energy spins to the right and is more down and out. Left, in and up, meeting right, down and out, causes a process called ionization and energy is given off. The stomach energy is on one level and the pancreas and the liver have another type of energy. This, if the bile bladder was blocked, can cause a catastrophic biophotonic electromagnetic disturbance. Biophotonic light and electromagnetic energy is ejected, disrupting the body magnetosphere. The body's magnetosphere becomes compressed during waking and daytime, and at night, during rest and dark, it becomes more extended. As cosmic energy can have its effect to be combined and condensed at night, daylight interferes. Nighttime process given a bile occlusion and hypocapnia can cause a biophotonic mass ejection from the breath and urine. During this time, body energy transmission can cause death. Death typically occurs in the early hours of the morning from the above stated reason, when one with the above condition was overbreathing and breathed off the body's carbon and magnetic holding property of the blood, having created hypocapnia. Bioterrain electromagnetic disturbance causes the body's magnetic field to poke through the surface of the skin's auric corona and body's auric field, where it becomes unstable and collapses. This causes an unleashing biophotonic electromagnetic energy from the blood and body core. An unleashing biophotonic electromagnetic energy from the blood and body core. Flares and tears in the body's biophotonic electromagnetic plasma sheath occur at the bile bladder area, commonly where intense magnetic energy caps up welling biophotonic energy, creating darker, cooler spots within the plasma body, adding to greater plasma body instability. Atmospherical body magnetic field disturbance, as in a steep decrease in the field over 6 to 24 hours, and gradual recovery can occur. As this occurs, the bottom end of the body trunk becomes a southward magnetic field. The north field weakens at the head and travels more down to the mid-region of the trunk of the body. Body field protons ejected form a ring current circling the body. As light and electromagnetic energy can have been ejected from a bile occlusion at night, it becomes more intense because it becomes reinforced by protons coming from a night of cosmic energy being compressed and condensed through 0 point energetics. And this is reinforced by O positive ions from the Earth's ionosphere given solar magnetic storms. Neutral hydrogen atoms circulate within the plasma body aura of humans and have much less energy than the ring current ions. The body's gravity field holds them. Collisions transfer electron from hydrogen to the ring current ion. The gained electron, now neutralized, becomes a fast neutral hydrogen atom. The body's auric corona is in the shape of a flying saucer and extends some 4 to 5 times the person's height outward. Neutral hydrogen atoms circulate within the plasma body aura of humans and have much less energy than the ring current ions. The body's gravity field holds them. Collisions transfer electron from hydrogen to the ring current ion. The gained electron, now neutralized, becomes a fast neutral hydrogen atom. The body's auric corona is in the shape of a flying saucer and extends some 4 to 5 times the person's height outward. A red blood corpuscle can, under tears and holes in its energetic stability, release a mass of its biophotonic corona. Brighter and darker regions seen in the body's biophotonic field aura are associated with biophotonic disturbance. Extra energy is pumped into regions above body inflammation points and body magnetic regions, dark areas in between. Are body auric coronal holes, arches and loops of body magnetic field lines produce and can trap and hold back the red blood corpuscle's biophotonic plasma information, hindering this natural flow of body. In body biophotonic coronal holes, the magnetic field is weaker and field lines stick straight out from the body, and this provides an easy route along which the biophotonic plasma body can flow away. Holes like this can produce fast anti-biophotonic wind streams back in on the body that generally become extensions of the body's electromagnetic poles. Vitality can only ensue as the body has its stabilized energy by healthy blood. Vitality can only ensue as the body has its stabilized energy by healthy blood. Of this note, the red blood corpuscle health and the body's bioterrain as anode and virtual cathode as indicated is integral to body function. As a current exists, a magnetic field is also set up by such current, and this magnetic field is vital to proper electrical valence of individual cells to function properly. Magnetic fields of only Gauss oscillating at Hertz enhances DNA synthesis phase of mitosis. The greatest interaction is between Hertz. Severe defects to an organism occur as frequencies can have been used beyond 100 Hz. Long-term exposure to harmful frequencies can cause permanent changes in life colloidal metabolism. Red blood corpuscle, being made of primordial building blocks, as colloid of life, and life colloid, as aggregated masses of colloid of life, assemble together, and these masses assemble with other masses called double spore. This is the living building component and has a liquid crystal organ as it possesses clathrated that contain information about the whole body. Blood in this way receives information about external conditions it can store and process for memory and action information, assisting in change required as the body's response to external circumstance requires this. The red blood corpuscle is attuned to the circadian rhythm of a lunar day. Blood possessing the property of polypotency can self-replicate. The blood is a semi-conducting liquid crystal organ tissue of the body. Blood in vitality is loaded with silicon and germanium. Small amounts of contaminants retard the blood's liquid crystal electric properties. Red blood corpuscle and its liquid crystal water clathrate has a complex of other mineral that handle a wide variety of currents, including piezoelectric, pressure, pyroelectric, heat, and photoelectric. All body repeated patterns of a passage of current through its semi-conductive self permanently improves that response in any future moment. Even rocks in the course of catastrophe and billions of years of evolution. Even rocks in the course of catastrophe and billions of years of evolution become responsive to Earth's geomancy. The rocks learn to hurt as hot lava flows and sulfuric rain ate into rock vertex. Early Earth till about 10,000 years ago. Years ago. Pulsed at a 10 Hz wavelength per second. This Hertz wavelength produces the most abundant environment fostering varied alchemical activity upon Earth's biomass. The most abundant heat infrasound, pressure waves, ultraviolet radiation occurs in life of this frequency. Changing the orientation of the body's electromagnetic field changes the bend to the right, D, or left, L. Of chemical compounds produced by the cells. Superconduction occurs in the blood, nerve, body flora, RNA, melanin, and certain enzyme like lysozyme. Blood is biophotonic, and its laser-like properties enable one to have an extrasensory perception. A body's magnetic field, plied by vital blood, generates its proper handed form of organic molecule that runs the systems of the body. In the site of body injury, a current of injury is sustained until healing has occurred. Red blood corpuscles trapped in the area transition into simple fetal endoblastic cells and carry electrical signals, causing healing according to the body's morphogenic field. These simple fetal endoblastic cells morph into the life colloid body components needed to be replaced. Magnetic and electromagnetic fields given off by the blood carries biophotonic information that is produced by body electrical currents. The blood's superconducting current is extremely sensitive to very small magnetic fields. Output of light from the retina is directed to the pineal gland, and melatonin secretion is adjusted. External fields are managed by the body's own lodestone crystals of the ethmoid organ and pineal that are part of the brain. Over a long distance, a cell can communicate to a cell or an organism to an organism. Communication occurs by transmission and reception of blood's biophotonic signal. This signal is put out by blood's coherent light as photon that carries electromagnetic energy. Biophotonic electromagnetic signal is read through a membrane receptor, enzyme, and life colloid interior of the cell. Crimson red charged blood has its projected electromagnetic biophotonic energy extending out into infinite space with decreasing strength within distance. It is called an electric, and magnetic field. It fluctuates and has a wave. This information has a plasma body of supraluminal and also the speed of light at 186,000 miles per second. 1 hertz equals 186,000 miles in wavelength, and 1 hertz equals 186,000 miles in wavelength, and 100 millihertz is a wave of about 6 feet. All such fields have energy and are capable of initiating action at a distance, the same as a remote flight craft. In the electromagnetic spectrum, one can find particles called photons or waves. A photon without mass carries energy. A photon gives its energy to convert into an electrical signal that allows us to see light. Resonance in life is the phenomenon of biophotonic waves, or slower waves, as sound, having a matching physical structure with a life colloid as a physical structure that produces movement of that life colloid. Resonance involves a matching wavelength with the physical structure of the life colloid. As resonance is occurring, energy in motion, motion, is transferred across space to its matching physical structure. Extrasensory perception is a biological radio as a life colloid that reads biophotonic signals transmitted across space. This is called primary perception. As indicated already in Jubb's cell rejuvenation under cell electronics, a cell is an oscillating circuit that transmits and receives biophotonic information. The DNA has no energy of its own and can only faithfully replicate protein by getting a message from outside itself. Blood being electric and biophotonic, and as a liquid crystal tissue organ of the body, albeit seemingly liquid, it has the property of semiconduction. Electric current in the blood occurs by movement of electrons and electron holes through its crystal lattice. Semiconduction is only one electrical method of conduction. Others include resonant, radionic, metallic, and ionic. The blood and nerve sheathing of the body act as a semiconducting system, and this system of conduction has great versatility and requires only extremely small amounts of energy to operate.